Testing reception with the copper tape antenna for PMR446. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is the copper tape dipole for PMR446 that I've cobbled together. Well, it's not actually that difficult to put together. It's basically two strips of copper tape. This one's actually started to come off the window a little bit, but otherwise it's still soldered, which is good. This one has as well. I think that should be fine now. So I've got the choke on it. The choke's not necessary for the receive test. It's being fed with two RG213, and there's a coupler in there, so that will introduce some losses. So what I'm going to do is, my original plan for a range test was it was going to be connecting up to my RTL SDR, but with the computer in here I've been having some problems with that. So instead what I'm going to do, as you can see here, I've got the other camera set up ready to film this, is I've got the Intek DRS-5070, which I used to use for an FRN gateway many moons ago, hence the sticker that's on it. Connected to that is this arrangement here, which is a BNC angle connector, another BNC coupler, which converts to SO239, and then the PL259 off the RG213. So there's going to be some losses at that end as well. But if you look closely at the radio itself, you can see a little bit of copper tape sticking out where I've actually had a go at properly screening the inside. It seems to have worked, and it seems to transmit and receive relatively okay. It's not doing anything untoward. It's on channel 5 for PMR446 at the moment. I could use channel 8 because that's kind of the centre these days, but this radio is only an 8-channel radio, and so there's at least one of the radios I'll be taking with me to test this. So when I did the test originally for the last video, but that failed to come out, which is why it was never included, I walked down to the local Tesco. I don't have any intention to walk that far today. I know it's a sunny day, but I don't really want to walk down there. So I know there's a footpath and some woods nearby. I'm not sure if it's muddy in there or not. We'll soon find out when we go down there, because the trees will help to attenuate the signal somewhat, I think. And that's part of the idea, to see how it fares with obstacles and things like that. So I'm going to crack on with that, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, might get somewhere. This choke looks like it's actually started to unwind at the top, so that's not really ideal, is it? I might have to look at that. It does look like the choke started to unwind there, because that cable looks a bit longer than it normally is, so I will check that, see if that's actually happened. If it has, it has. If it hasn't, it hasn't. But otherwise, it should be fine, and hopefully we should receive something. So I'll set this camera recording. It's connected to a power bank to stop it from running out of battery. That's just an old Samsung Galaxy S8. What I use for the main camera is an Oppo A72. I just use old mobile phones because they're cheaper to get hold of, and these ones all produce an output in 4K, which is pretty good. Anyway, I'll get myself out there. I know it's sunny, and I should really use sunscreen and wear a hat, but I don't think that's necessary. Anyway, I'll get cracking and I'll get this recording. Right, so I'm outside now in the sun. Sunglasses. Car's a bit... really? I didn't notice that. Try and get across the road before I get run over. Not by the motorbike you can hear in the background, because that's being ridden on the grass by a kid, which I think is somewhat dubious. So, walking down the street like I'd normally do, I've got two radios with me. I've got my Intek MT-5050, one radio you can't actually get anymore, which is a shame unless you look on eBay. You might find them on the used market. And the Silvercrest one from Lidl, or one of the two of the Silvercrest ones from Lidl. Just so I've got a backup, which is good. Now on this side, heading down the street as normal, there's obviously the antennas on the other side, and this should make it a little bit more difficult. And it's usually quite quiet down here this time of day, because most people are coming back home from work and just want to go home for their tea. I've not worked today because my bank, once again, has screwed up and left me in a situation where I've had no money for petrol. So I'm going to have to ring them and sort that out again. So this is a good way to kill the time. So I'm about where the phone box used to be all those years ago. It isn't anymore, there's a car there instead. Not that the car's going to be there for much longer. So we're on channel 5 today. So let's see. This is a test of reception using the copper tape antenna back at base, transmitting from the Intek MT-5050 12345 54321. Okay, that should have come out fine because we're not exactly that far away anyway. And you can see the S meter as well. So what we're going to do, instead of going all the way to the houses at the bottom, I'm going to go between the houses just before the bottom because there's some woods over there. And I think that's a good place to do a little test. Yeah, when I came down here to do the test last time, there was a car on axle stands, it's still there. Someone's taken all the wheels off it. Not a thief, because they'd normally leave it on bricks. Clearly someone took the wheels off on purpose or something. So I will do a test from around about here. Ooh. It is actually warm out here today. Summer's on its way. Very nice. It's also good for me because I could use a bit of exercise, don't be stuck in the house all day. So I've not needed to crack out the backup radio yet, we're still good. So more or less at the bottom of the street, and that's a good place to test. Here's another test of reception using the copper tape antenna back at base with the Intek MT-5050. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, I think that's long enough. So we'll go through here, between these two houses. There's a house there, and there's a house there. It's also nice in the shade here as well. They've built some new houses since I came through here last. So I wonder if that's brought the local noise level up on the HF bands any. Probably. I don't know yet. Probably has. Anyway, let's do a little test of this. Okay, this is a test of reception using the copper tape antenna back at base, transmitting from the Intek MT-5050. I'll try and have that a bit vertical, that might actually work better. So test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm between houses here, so that should have a screening effect. Right, let's keep walking through the woods. I'm keeping the camera rolling because, let's face it, having the camera rolling is nice. Ooh. Yes, this comes out on Somerset Close. Although this new street they've built is called Lincoln Close, which is just over there where I'm pointing the antenna. So it was a path at one point, but it looks like it's been abandoned. So it's just long grass. Whoop. Whoop. Steady. Yeah. Long grass and an unbuilt area that they could have built an extra house on, but they didn't. So this is Somerset Close I've come on to. I get a lot of deliveries for up here and it's easy to get lost. It's not numbered how you would expect it. Ooh. So these are like the last of the Somerset Close houses here. These are the new houses they've just recently built. And those houses are the ones that I do get a bit worried about. The woods are just across there, but we can't get to them up here, I don't think. I think I have to go further down. So it's a good place to do a little test, actually. Okay, so another test at the bottom of Somerset Close. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Receiving antenna, copper tape antenna. Transmitting radio, Intek MT-5050. Right. It is actually a nice day. Oh, someone's got a convertible. Yeah, I get distracted somewhat. Oh, there's a substation there that doesn't have an antenna on it. It's just there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, that one doesn't have an antenna on it. Yeah, you might have seen my little short about how I've seen antennas on substations recently, which I find a bit odd. Here we go. We are now going into the woods. Right, so we're now in the woods. The local woods. I've only been in here once. But I suppose it's a good place to do these kind of tests because you've got trees and all sorts of things. Let's do this. Okay, so this is a test from the bottom of the woods with the Intek MT-5050, receiving antenna being the copper tape antenna, back at base, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, normally I go down to the local Tesco, but not today, don't really need to be down there. So this wooded area goes behind Somerset Close, and it actually comes out near the flats. Actually a nice walk on a day like this. Sign says it's a public bridleway, so I think you are allowed to ride horses down here, but I never see that usually. So far I've not needed to crack out the silver crest, and that's good. I've just needed this, and this has still got a full set of battery bars. It's just running off alkaline cells at the moment. One from Poundland, because I've not usually had a problem. Okay. So I think the radio transmissions could break through there and break through there. So that's Somerset Close on that side, we've got Essex Close on that side. So, Essex Close that way, Somerset Close that way, point with the radio. So I'll do a test here. This is a test of, I'll do it straight up actually. This is a test of reception of the copper tape antenna back at base with the Intek MT-5050 transmitting. We're transmitting at half a watt. That's half a watt, 500 milliwatts. I'm at an intersection in the woods between Somerset Close and Essex Close. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll keep going, because that little gap there may work for the radio waves to go through, but where the signal needs to go is actually straight ahead, near enough. Well, actually it's actually a bit over towards that sort of general direction, I think. I'm sure you saw where I was pointing with the antenna. Actually nice in here, nice and quiet and relaxing, and it takes my mind off all my troubles. Not that I really need to take my mind off those troubles. Right. Anyway. Not a place I come often, like I said. Now the path's a bit muddy here. we have had a lot of rain recently. So a nice walk in the woods to test the aerial that's back at base. And it will give the clues to what the trees are doing with the PMR446 transmission and reception. Because it would be interesting. Like, this is all trees here. This is a good place to stop. This is a very good place to stop. Okay, so in the middle of the woods, testing the Intek MT-5050, transmitting back to a copper tape antenna at base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This radio is doing half a watt. The receiving antenna is somewhat high, but I think the trees may act as a bit of a screen to the signal, but who knows? You guys will know in a minute when I let go of the key.
I think the trees may act as a bit of a screen to the signal, but who knows? Well, you guys will know in a minute when I let go of the key.
Yeah, because you'll be seeing the clip immediately afterwards, if there is one to put in. Yeah, so the idea is just to test it to see how it's faring, and also there's a little stream there. Yes, to test it to see how it's faring. I've never really been in here before, so I don't actually know how to get out. Try not to stand in too much of the mud. Ooh, this bit's really muddy. Now there's two places this comes out. The end of my road, near enough, and also at the bottom of the dips in the road that goes past the flats, because the road goes past the flats and then immediately dips down. That's usually where the end of this comes out, unless it's blocked off for some reason, which it not normally is, because I drive past here all the time and it isn't. And here is the main road. Here's the bottom of the dip. And I'll show you that. Okay, so here's the main road. So we've got a dip on that side, that's going out towards, I was going to say the White Rose Club, but they demolished that. Then we've got that way, and that's where the flats are. So this is a good place to do the test, because whilst the flats are like almost in line of sight, we're still at the bottom of a dip, like that. Probably scaring the drivers off as they come down here. I think they're thinking they get done for speeding or something. Anyway, I'll put the camera back on me. Okay, so let's do a test from here. I'll just go a little bit back off the road, because otherwise it's going to pick up road noise and we don't want that. So we've got trees slightly in the way on either side, so that might hinder the signal a bit. Channel 5. Okay, so another test of reception of the copper tape antenna back at base. I'm at the dips on Hipswell Road West. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the dips aren't actually far away from the flat, so this might actually be an alright signal, but we'll see when we get there.
Okay, so another test of reception of the copper tape antenna back at base at the dips on Hipswell Road West. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't actually far away from the flat, so this might actually be an alright signal, but we'll see when we get there.
There's also some power lines around here as well, but I don't think they're going to have any effect at UHF. Ooh. Oh dear. Someone's crashed into a lamppost. It's all fastened together with tape labelled police evidence. So obviously someone was either speeding down here or nicked a car and crashed it into that. You never know. I didn't hear anything, so it could have happened whilst I was in America, I don't know. Oh dear. Don't like walking up hills very much. Probably noticed that. Part of the reason why I'm grateful I moved away from Richmond. They're at the flats now. 4 sets of flats. Completely identical to one another. Built quite a long time ago by the Ministry of Defence and then sold to a private landlord, and that's how I ended up in one of them. Recently sold again to another landlord. We've got a lovely church just across the road as well. It's a Catholic church. When my spouse was over, that was somewhere they went. And one more block of flats to go, and then we're back home. Yes, we'll just go past the local bus stop. Most people who get on the bus on this side of the road usually are just going to Tesco, even though it's only about 2 minutes walk away. If you're a quick walker, or 5 minutes walk if you walk at a slow and steady pace. And there we go, back at base. The antenna looks like it's still up, so I can see it from here actually. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back up there and have a look, see what's what, see if those trees hindered anything. Right, I'll catch you when I get back up there. Okay, so I'm back up in the house now, and I've had a look at the footage, and it looks like it's just more or less what I was expecting, to be honest. Wherever there was obstructions, the signal was bad, and where there was no obstructions, the signal was better. The surprise was when I was between the two houses, it was receiving alright there, which is definitely a surprise. The distance between the bottom of Somerset Close and the flat, I think, might have been too much because there was all the buildings in the way, and of course the radio legal PMR446 at 0.5 watt. I don't think adding the power would have made any difference. Certainly the trees were having a screening effect as well, definitely. But obviously once I got close to the flat again, the signal started to pick up. So definitely how I expected it to do. The test was deliberately done that way, because if I could quite easily just walk to the end of the street and it probably would have worked. And I could have walked all the way down to the roundabout at the end of the road. It probably would have worked for most of that as well. That would have just been an easy test. And, well, I wanted to make it a difficult test. It certainly proved to be a difficult test. And the fact that it stuck to the inside of the glass and there's some adapters on the cable, that would have also had an effect. And I could have left the squelch open as well, but I decided I wouldn't do that. The squelch was actually at its lowest setting, setting 1. I don't think I can get it any lower than that. I don't think there's a way to do that, because it's a lot of surface mount components inside that radio, and I don't want to start fiddling with things and changing components just to make the squelch do something a little bit better than what it can do, just for testing purposes. And that radio didn't come supplied with a BNC connector on it, with it being a legal PMR446 radio. As purchased, it had an antenna built into it. I removed that and fitted a BNC in its place and screened the insides, and it's been okay. It's worked. So if this has been useful to you, I hope it has been. You can give it the old thumbs up. I know a lot of people are doing that. But if you didn't like it, you can always press the other button, the thumbs down. But if you do like it, then yes, thumbs up's okay. And if you really liked it and want to help chip in a little bit towards the running of the channel, you can always use the thanks button as well. There is a thanks button on my videos these days, because the channel is now monetised. I don't make a lot of money from the channel, and I don't ask for anyone to chip in anything. It's all entirely up to you. So, thanks for watching, 7.3 for now, and I will catch you in the next one.